Hey, what's up folks? Welcome back to the channel. I hope your day so far has been absolutely fantastic. I've got such a fun video for you today. 21 things in the US that puzzle most foreigners. Now, the reason I find these videos so fun is because as a foreigner, I can tell you whether these things are true or not as far as our perception of you guys. So I cannot wait for this one. And if you guys can think of any other things not mentioned in this video, please let me know in the comments below. I always value your folks' comments. But without any further delay, let's get into it. 21 things in the US that puzzle most foreigners. Can't wait for this. This is going to be so fun.
Well, you may have lived in the United States your whole life without realizing that something totally normal for you seems bizarre to people from other parts of the world. Who knew that munching on fried pickles in a highly air-conditioned room was so outlandish? Well, here are some other highly entertaining Americanisms I've gathered. Let's count it down from number 21.
Okay.
Sales tax is a guessing game. When you go shopping in the U.S. and see a price tag that says $14.88, don't expect to pay $14.88 at the register. Sales tax is not included in the price of an item, and since this tax can vary from state to state, figuring out your total can turn into the ultimate mental math challenge. In many European countries, the sales tax is already included in the price. It's known as a value-added tax, or VAT. Number 20.
So just some context on that one. So you guys have a base price, and then when you go to the till, the tax will be added to it afterwards. So that value-added tax is also true for us in South Africa. VAT, it's for us is around 14% countrywide, and it's included within the price. So when we see the price, we know that is what we are going to pay for. Now, I guess the reason why ours can be included in the price is because our value-added tax is the same the whole countrywide, whereas for you folks, each state can have a different tax, so you can't necessarily have a standard pricing, I guess. So I guess that is the one core difference between the America and most other countries.
We're total workaholics. A lot of Americans don't feel the need to take long vacations, so they often let vacation and sick hours pile up without ever using them. Plus, most employers only give you 2 weeks out of the year. But in a lot of other countries, like Brazil or Finland, workers are encouraged to take an average of 30 days of vacay.
30 days? We don't get that much.
Maybe I should take some time off.
I get 20.
Or perhaps I'll just keep waiting. 19. It's not a party without red Solo cups. In the States, this red plastic cup is synonymous with "party on, dude." But other countries apparently don't recognize this cup to mean the same thing. People in the UK, for example, don't use red Solo cups at get-togethers. They have to go to a special website to purchase the cups for American-themed parties. Who knew? Number 18. Deep-fried.
So yeah, those cups we definitely associate with America. When we watch those early 2000s American, coming of age films like American Pie or whatever, whenever there's a big party, they've got the red cups. We associate them with playing beer pong and so forth. So they've definitely got some sort of cult North American perception. So that's not totally false. I definitely agree with that one. Deep fried everything.
Everything. Whether it's fried pickles or even fried Oreos, America has it all. Fried fish recipes first appeared in Spanish and Portuguese cookbooks as far back as the 1200s, and the Greeks were frying food in olive oil way back in the 5th century BCE. But as America does with many things, they've adopted a tradition from far-off lands and took it up a notch, or 5. 17. Get everything you need right at the pharmacy. If you're not from the U.S., it may be puzzling to walk into a pharmacy and see aisles and aisles of over-the-counter meds, toys, makeup, clothes, and even groceries.
Pharmacy is the place.
Unlike in other countries where pharmacies sell medicine and medical supplies exclusively, the ones in the U.S. are like small convenience stores where you can grab magazines, Tylenol, and a frozen pizza in one fell swoop. 16.
That is funny.
Filler up.
I would never have guessed that you can get everything from the pharmacy. At our pharmacies, sometimes there is like an aisle before, you go to pay that have things like sweets and candy. And I always found that so ironic. You go in the pharmacy for your health, and then they've got a bunch of unhealthy snacks in the front. And let me tell you, folks, that's in every single, how can I say, food market. They've got that aisle before you pay. Man, those things are so evil. I can never pay for my goods without grabbing a chocolate or grabbing candy. I wish I'd need those damn candy aisles to be removed before paying for things. I don't know if you folks have the same problem as me. But let's go to the next one. Fill her up.
In America, if a restaurant doesn't offer free refills on fountain drinks, it's kind of strange.
Okay.
But in other countries, once you buy one beverage, that's it.
Yeah.
France banned refills on sugary sodas back in 2017 in order to combat the current obesity epidemic. But in the US, the idea of free refills is still alive and well.
We need free beer refills,
15.
Guys.
If you don't like it, return it. Whether it's an ugly sweater from grandma or a heinous pair of earrings from an ex, if you don't like it, you can just return it. In America, making returns at stores is pretty normal and super easy. I mean, the US even has a National Returns Day in January, conveniently held for you to return holiday gifts you weren't too thrilled about.
Yeah, nice.
14. Tips for everyone. Cab drivers, servers, hairdressers, you gotta tip them. Tips are acceptable for almost any service in the U.S. and sometimes consist of 25% of the bill. We haven't started tipping surgeons yet, but there are places in other parts of the world, such as Japan, that consider tipping incredibly rude, like in restaurants. When you travel to different countries, it's important to learn their tipping etiquette so that you don't offend anyone. 13.
That is very true. Before you ever go traveling, it is definitely important to know some of the basic cultural things regarding that country so you don't come across as rude. In South Africa, we also have quite a big tipping culture. For every service you generally tip, our standard rate is 15 to 20%. So I'd say in that regard, we're pretty much very similar to the United States.
I'll take my coffee to go.
Nice.
With a Starbucks on every corner, it's very normal to see people toting around a coffee as they shop, commute to work, and whatever else at all times of the day. But in many parts of the world, coffee is meant to be sipped on while seated and enjoying the paper or chatting with friends.
Right.
Tugging your coffee along with you throughout the day might be due to the fact that the cups are huge and take longer to drink. Who's got that kind of time to be sitting in a cafe for hours? Sounds like fun to me.
I enjoy both. Sometimes I like to go to a coffee shop, even to sit by myself whilst I look at the news, or sometimes go to, visit a friend at a coffee shop, chat over and catch up. But I also do enjoy a takeaway coffee, guys. Listen, I love getting the takeaway coffee for some reason. It tastes good coming out of that cup. But you tell me, what do you prefer? A nice relaxed seating with your coffee out of the normal ceramic cup, or do you prefer a takeaway coffee? I'd be very interested to know what your preference is.
Number 12. The land of ice-cold drinks.
Nice.
Now, speaking of drinks, if it's not a hot coffee or cocoa, then it's probably got ice in it. Tea, coffee, lemonade, soda, water. Americans like it on the rocks. If you go elsewhere in the world, odds are you'll be sipping your soda at room temperature, or maybe slightly refrigerated if you don't specifically ask for ice.
I prefer a cold drink.
Number 11.
I prefer
Keeping the AC on at all times.
Wow.
Americans must have an aversion to being hot.
Yeah.
In many parts of Europe, people simply don't use air conditioning as much as they do in the States.
Yeah.
Here, it's expected to always have the AC blaring, and a lot of visitors find it pretty strange and quite chilly. But come on, it makes sense. If you're cold, you can layer up. If you're hot, all you can do is suffer and complain about it. Number 10.
I agree.
Looking at dollars is a snooze.
I agree. We also don't really use the AC as much in South Africa. We're just open to the weather conditions. I think because the weather's so standard, right? It's the winter it's still fairly warm, and in the summer it's very hot. We're just open to the conditions, so no one really has AC. Some people do have AC installed in their house, but it also uses so much electricity that most people try to use it only if they really need to. So that definitely is a difference between the US and South Africa.
Fast. I remember going to Europe for the first time and thinking their banknotes looked like Monopoly money. And I guess a lot of countries have bills of different colors and sizes depending on the value, like Swedish krona and Russian rubles. But not in the US. It's all greenbacks, baby. Sure, 10s look a little yellowy, 50s are kind of pinkish, and Benjamins seem bluer than the others. But still, US dollars definitely aren't as fun and rainbowy as other currencies. Number 9. Giving a thumbs up. In America, even little kids know a thumbs up means good job, way to go, or anything positive like that. But if you travel to Greece or the Middle East and give this common American gesture, you probably won't make too many friends.
What?
Hey, how about giving this video a thumbs up for the useful tip?
Also, folks, if you're enjoying this video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the videos. If you're not enjoying the videos, you don't have to worry. But if you are enjoying them, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it.
Number 8. The date writing conundrum. So many visitors to the US get really confused by the month, day, year thing, because most parts of the world write the day, then the month, then finally the year.
Yes.
There's no clear historical reason why the US insists on writing the day differently, but we just do. Number 7. Pre-baby baby showers. Many cultures celebrate a new baby coming into the world, but America is one of the few places that does this before the baby actually gets here. In East Asian countries, for instance, celebrations for a new baby are held once the baby is born, as doing otherwise is seen as bad luck. Number 6.
Hey, we need a party for
how
everything,
are you
folks.
Means hello. Sure, people ask each other how they're doing in other countries, but Americans often use this phrase as a replacement for hey or hello. It doesn't even require a real response. People just answer with fine thanks, even if they're in a horrible mood or had a terrible day.
I can definitely relate to that one a lot. In South Africa, the common greeting is how's it? You know, how's it? It's very short for how is it going? So if you ever speak to a South African, just say how's it? And he will know exactly what you mean by that. And also we just reply with the same thing. Yeah, you know, things are going good, thanks. Even if things aren't going good. It's just, you know, standard procedure. So I can definitely relate to that one.
Number 5. Bathroom stalls that aren't so private.
Interesting.
Don't like doing your business in front of complete strangers? Americans don't either, of course. But the fact that bathroom stall doors often reveal as much as your entire lower leg seems to say otherwise. There's no clear reason as to why there's this big gap in public bathroom stalls here.
Safe material
but many
outdoors.
guess it's for safety reasons or ventilation. Just saying.
That could be true.
Number 4.
Ventilation makes sense.
No one uses their inside voice. A lot of my friends who are visiting or moved to the US tell me that locals speak so loud compared to other countries. Whether it's talking on your cell phone or chatting with a friend over lunch, Americans seem to really like projecting their voice.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe we just want to make sure we're heard.
Folks,
Number
can
3.
you confirm
It's
that?
all about choices. Walk into any grocery store aisle and you'll notice at least 10 different options for cookies, crackers, or cereal. People in the UK don't have these many options for food, and you'll almost never find anything in grape flavor there. Number 2. Hopping into the
Nothing wrong
back
with
seat of a
options.
cab. When getting into a cab, it's customary in the States to scoot on into the back seat. But in countries like New Zealand and Australia, riding anywhere but shotgun can be a little rude. Number 1. That classic American.
Yeah, I won't lie. That's true. You know, if we get a taxi or we get an Uber, you know, someone always occupies the front seat, so the driver doesn't feel like he's just, you know, being a taxi. Even though he is a taxi, someone always takes the front seat, and the guy who takes the front seat is normally the one that holds a conversation, keeps a conversation going, and just it's just extremely friendly. So that's something we share in common with New Zealand and Australia. But I can also understand just wanting to go to the back seat and keep to yourself. So both work for me. Okay.
American smile. In the US, people aren't afraid to be nice and show their pearly whites all the time. and according to a 2015 study at Brown University. Because America has always been a very diverse country, it forced people to smile at each other more since they couldn't always communicate with language. That's just one more historical theory as to why Americans tend to smile more than people in other places do. Or maybe we're just, friendlier. Whether you're from the U.S. or not, can you add any more strange Americanisms to the list? Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video.
That was really fun. There's definitely some of those things I didn't know. Some of those things I agree with. Some of them I did know. But nonetheless, I always love these type of videos because as a foreigner, I can give my perspective on things. Nothing wrong with smiling, guys. The fact that you guys are the friendliest is a very, very good thing. But yeah, folks, let me know what you thought about this video. Are there any other examples that you can share with me in the comments that weren't mentioned in this video? I'd highly appreciate your guys' inputs. I always value your opinions more than any video that I can watch. But yeah, folks, that's all I have for you today. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. But until next time, I'll see you when I see you. Have the best week possible. Cheers.